had a first webinar in June. This is the second one, and we'll catch everyone up to speed on what's happening with the node. So in the room today from the EOSC Finnish Forum office, we have myself, Ulriika Vihervalli from CSC, and I'm here with my colleagues Anu Märkälä also from CSC. And presenting today, we have Jessica Parland-von Essen, who is the node coordinator for the EOSC Finland node and program manager also at CSC. The way we'll run this session is that first we'll have Jessica present on the Finland node. And after this, we'll open the floor for a Q&A. And for the Q&A, you can ask directly, or you can put your question in the chat. We won't record the Q&A, and the Q&A can also be in English or Finnish. I think we can be flexible with the language there. The presentation itself, we'll run that in English, but then we'll go bilingual for that part of the session. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Jessica, and we'll get your presentation shared for everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much and welcome. Yeah, so we have a first instance of the node according to what our schedule was, now up and running, and I will present that, but first maybe a few words about the situation in the federation. We just recently last week had our federation build-up group meeting at CSC, and it was the 7th meeting of this group. As you probably or maybe have heard, our work is organized in this with this build-up group, and then underneath that we have these subgroups, thematic subgroups that have been very active, and we have been active mostly in the catalog interoperability things, and then in the security part, which we at CSC think that we have competence and knowledge to promote. We currently have like 13 nodes, and some are thematic, and some are national nodes, and some are just generic infra nodes. Yeah, this has been really rapid development. This work is not funded from the EOSC or Commission or anywhere, but people are doing this as in-kind work, and I think this makes it all the more impressive that the federation is progressing so much. The key things we are focusing on are the core federation capabilities, which are the AI, meaning the user management and access management things, and identity management across services, and also then the catalogs, the findability. There has now been, maybe I mentioned that some of the subgroups, there is one subgroup working with the memorandum of understanding for the nodes, that nodes would be alleged to sign or expected to sign for joining the federation. And then there is another very important group, in my opinion, that's working with Federation Handbook update. The Federation Handbook is the most clear and extensive description we have today about what the EOSC, what the federation is and what the node is. So this is a really key document, as we don't have a really clear architecture anywhere, and now all the nodes are collecting information and comments for how to enhance this federation handbook. It will be an update, so it won't be completely rewritten, so you can still already read this version and get some idea of what the federation is about. there is this autumn in September, there was a call deadline, so we applied and many proposals were done where we actually are proposing and organizations are proposing ways to actually enhance or take this work forward, and then that would be funded work that hopefully can start next year. So this work will continue, and also there is a new call for the second wave of nodes which will be opening. So things are progressing on the EOSC level. The national node, we were mainly planning to do, or we had promised to do four things. And the first thing was to create this national node, the concept of the national node, and create the first instance of this node. And the second step is to federate this node with the EU node, which is the reference node, and a kind of a central node which will have a register of the nodes and so forth. And then there were two other things, which are use cases. And the first was an use case for ourselves, which was a dataset as a service pilot, which was due in October. And then the other one are the multi-node demonstrations. There have been some scientific use cases where we have been following the work, but participating a bit, but not that actively. But then there is a technical use case that's working with file sync and share federation, and there we have been more involved, and those are still ongoing. And of course, now the big deadline is the EOSC symposium in November in Brussels, where this federation will be presented quite largely. So, but we have been able to get things done on schedule. The federation is not ready. This is due to that the development has been a bit, or then we haven't got all the information maybe we needed from the EU node. So we are still working on those, but basically we are ready with our APIs. And we have a test implementation also of the AI. I will show you that in a minute. So the idea of the Finnish node, which you can find through the URL eosc.fi, is that this should be a gateway for European researchers to the Finnish research, and then for Finnish researchers to European infrastructures and research. And there are certain basic elements that are sort of expected to be included or proposed to be included in such a gateway. And we basically have all these bits and pieces in place in our node currently. So I'm really happy about this. But we had, of course, a good starting point in Finland, as we have a good infrastructure already in place that we are building on. So the point is not to build something new to run and yet another place for researchers where they need to go to do stuff, but more to federate the things we already have. I've been working with the GORC model, and I thought I could use it as an example of how we have been thinking about this thing. So the GORC model, if you aren't familiar with it, it's a global open research commons framework, which has been developed in the RDA, and it tries to describe all the basic elements you need if you want to create an open commons. So regarding human capacity, one key piece we have is the Research Data Management Competence Center, which is already strong and well functioning, and also involved in the EOSC collaboration. Regarding the rules of participation and how we will be working on national level, we are just starting planning the kickoff of a EOSC working group as part of the open science and research collaboration here in Finland. So you are all invited to join. These things will be discussed in this group. And then the governance structure is already also basically in place regarding the policy governance. I will show you this, but it's built around existing structures like the Open Science Research Collaboration and the EOSC Forum Finland. For engagement, we have EOSC Finland Forum, but also, of course, other networks that we have, which we have a lot in Finland, which is great. Then I would, in the lower part of this infographic, you can see the more technical parts. The Finnish node is built on the CSC infrastructure, and all the research objects are already findable through FAIR FI and research.fi, and the services are already listed in the service catalog. Regarding standards, we also have good work in Finland and a very good base to build on regarding FAIR principles and interoperability. So we have BEAT services. Then we have the metadata schema and crosswalk repository, which the node will be offering through the federation. Then we have the Finto vocabulary service for semantic interoperability, where we also have discussions ongoing how we could even develop that more. But currently the Finto service is used by both research.fi and fairdata.fi. And then of course the EOSC AI, which is basically built on MyAccess ID provided by Jeant. Regarding sustainability, we have a very strong commitment from the Ministry of Education and Culture through the Open Science collaboration. The Federation of the Finnish Learned Societies is strongly involved and engaged, and also CSC as a company and a structure is well established. So I would say that the sustainability is not a problem. And we also have these really good and strong and clear reference architectures, like the DAHA reference architecture for research data management, and then the Open Science reference architecture, which also help creating this structure and building and making it even stronger. So I would say we are in Finland in a quite good place. And I would say that last week when we were looking at the nodes, I would say that the Finnish node was maybe the most ready node. So that was really nice. So the policy governance of the EOSC Finland node is described here. So CSC provides the core capabilities, and we of course have engagement through our services and through many of networks that we have and collaborations and consortia. So we really try to work with our customers and users. Then we have the Open Science Data Expert Group, which is then expected to prepare the policies and guidance for this national work. And then the thinking is that these policies would also be presented to the EOSC Finland Forum coordinating committee that also could endorse these policies and documents, and which also has this own engagement networks. So this is how we are thinking that this should work on a national level. And at this point, I would like to show you a demo video, which is the same as I presented last week at the meeting. So this is a node, as you can see, and we have then just linked the existing services. We have very nice this system and service for the research information, which can be included, and also the FedData services offer a really nice overview and service for finding research data that's produced in Finland. Then also we have a catalog for the applications and tools that are available in CSC environments. So that's incorporated here. Then I've created this page for tools for service providers and data managers, which I encourage you to look at if you are working with services. And and then we created the service catalog, which currently contains the Finnish services that will be federated, and then the some services from the EU node, which are available also for Finnish users. So this is now a sort of a new type of service catalog, which includes services also provided by others than CSC. And here, as our first test onboarding case, is the Language Bank of Finland. And now this is all in live production environment, but now for this we will move to the a demo environment for the user space, which will then have this MyAccess-ID login, which is based on Edugain, but there are some restrictions. So it's for European researchers. And once you have registered, you can also access this. And here we have a dataset catalog, and these are the datasets that are in CSC environments. Here you have the CSC service catalogs at this point, and then we have the software catalog is also integrated here. So this will be developing as things develop and the federation goes forward, and the next step is to take this into production, so you can also access this.
Today, data in HPC environments is usually not well managed. The same dataset might be uploaded many times, and it is not easy or straightforward to organize and share parts of datasets. Metadata and data lineage might be lost. Links between tools and datasets can be weak.
All right, so the National Library of Finland has digitized all Finnish newspapers up until something like the 1940s, and they are in principle have been available for research use as well. But the National Library has published dumps only very rarely, and crucially these have not included the images of the newspapers, which are also of interest to research and run into the tens of terabytes. So to solve this problem, we centrally created a pipeline that transfers this data into the computing and data environments at CSC so that they are readily, immediately available to researchers. And not only that, we keep a track log of the changes in the data, so it's constantly updated, as well as storing historical versions in Allas, the data storage. Additionally, this pipeline and the dataset and all of the structure around it, what is necessary for researchers to know to use it, has now been documented, and the dataset can now be found in the sort of dataset as a service registry.
Lai.fi data is crucial for impactful research because it provides massive amounts of rich and reliable biodiversity data. Bringing data from Lai.fi closer to CSC's high-performance computing environment enables fast, large-scale analysis of high-quality data without the need of moving or downloading it, which avoids time-consuming data transfers. This can speed research insights, support data-driven decisions, and promote high-quality science in the fields of taxonomy, evolution, conservation, environmental monitoring, and climate change effects on life.
The service concept takes into account the individual needs and requirements in the data provisioning. The dataset is assessed and the documentation validated. Data ownership, rights, and management stays with the data owner. When agreements are made, the responsibilities are also clear to all parties.
Okay, so here was the demo video for the dataset as a service, which we created really in close collaboration with the Lumi AI factory. So they are working on a similar concept, and we are also using the same technologies currently. And to me also, this is really an important part of like implementing the DAHA reference architecture. We are working to really try to integrate metadata services and develop the metadata management and data management services across services and also capture metadata in new ways. And this is also an ongoing discussion for the new national computing environment, Roihu, where we are really working on integrating this, the possibilities to publish also active research data or use copies of data that are in research environments. Regarding the work forward, this is something we will focus on, and we will really focus on besides the service catalogs and developing the service catalogs on a national and international level. Then we will also work with even more how to integrate with the Euro HPC and the Lumi AI factory. With both are using this My Access ID service, so we can make better federations also on a national level, in my opinion, and this is something we will tighten to this collaboration. So for now, we maybe like to also give you some questions or thoughts. I would like to hear your thoughts on what does like onboarding services to our national node catalog. What would we like it to be? How could we provide like really good access and usability for the end users? How do we share and develop and organize the service catalogs? And then also the governance model as this EOSC working group, which we are currently now starting. It's still a working group, and these are working for 1 or 2 years. But then after that, we would need to think about the how we like have this broad engagement, which I think really is key and a big driver here, that we need to work together to provide services, easy to use services that are really smoothly interoperable for the researchers. So that was my presentation. I think I had the EOSC node, and also about the dataset as a service. You can find more information on the EOSC web page. It's currently quite much manual work, so we are really trying to find these useful large data sets that can be shared and then agree on how they can be made available for researchers in computing environments. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jessica. Okay, so now we can move on to the Q&A session.